Hey, what's up? It's Rashad, OG Antonio. Back, man. The Calrissian kids. Lando
Yeah.
has raised us. Bad Batch, season three. Again, this is one of the earliest shows that I reviewed by myself. We in the morning hours, cutting and editing like nobody's business. And it's just so much more fulfilling doing this to somebody else. Oh my God, yo. And it's
Yeah.
Man, like shout out to Star Wars Explained. Like I give them a lot of respect. They do all their own work. His
Yeah.
wife is a husband wife team, and she does a lot of the editing, and he does all the like scripting and stuff. So man, if you do stuff like that, that's
Yeah,
not
man.
easy work. I'm not sure if y'all saw Man of Web. If y'all even gonna see that horrible movie, me and my cousin, shout out to
Yo,
Nadia. Oh,
shout
Nadia
out,
came
you
through.
know what? Big shout out to Nadia, man. Nadia's been rolling with us for a long time. The batch.
Bad Batch season three. These first three episodes was so good. Like off top, man. I was
Mm-hmm.
pleasantly surprised. It's first episode. Where you at? Mount Texas. We ain't
Yes.
playing no games. We get
Episode one
establishing
is
things
called
going on.
Confined.
Confined. Because
Mm-hmm.
we see our two favorite clones. We see Omega and we see Crosshair.
I got a question.
Crosshair.
Am I the only one that's irritated how they say her name? I think
I
I've said this
mean,
before.
I feel like you're going to be irritated with an entire country. So tread lightly. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying?
We love you guys. Cheerio. We love you
That's
guys.
a New Zealand accent right there. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So, yeah, man, it was a real good episode. Like Omega, basically at the beginning of the episode, just got in jail,
Mm-hmm.
and we have Emery, the her clone sister,
Mm-hmm.
is showing her daily routine.
Mm-hmm.
He's taking blood samples from random clones, not not troopers, just clones they made. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's a random batch of clones they made. They trying to
Yeah.
get samples from them, of course, to get some midichlorian counts. And all of this, I'm just skipping around these whole three episodes. This is
Yeah.
all in service to, Project Necromancer, which was
Necromancer.
mentioned way back in The Mandalorian.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, is in service to Palpatine and him trying to, I want to live
Yeah.
forever. So he's definitely trying his best his best impersonation at being himself, gathering his essence and putting into another vessel.
And going back into Star Wars lore, he's actually trying to do what Dark Lord Vitiate did, who ruled the Sith for what, like 3,000 years or something. He like,
I don't
yeah,
know.
and he just basically like kept passing his essence on over to new clones and everything like that. And I know some of you might be saying Project Necromancer I've heard of, but what about Project Cinder? Project Cinder was the second part. Project Necromancer was the very first part. The whole thing is they're trying to find a way to pass midichlorians into clones. And that is the big, that's the big thing where, they can make clones, but the midichlorian count never passed through. And that is also this is around the time too that they made the clone of Palpatine and didn't have any force powers, which ended up becoming the father of Rey from Force Awakens in the sequel trilogy. So yeah, yeah, I mean, like you said, I mean, it picks right up. The episode picks right up. Omega has always been a character that's hot and
Hold
cold.
on, Tony.
Okay.
He had no M count. He had his firm count.
So then, hiya!
Sperm count high, boy.
Yeah. Hey man, I want to shout out real quick. I want to shout out New Rock Stars. They did an episode one time after when we found when the God,
Rise of Skywalker.
Rise of Skywalker came out and they found out that Palpatine was Rey's grandfather or whatever. They did an episode. It was called Palpatine fucks. And the thing is, they kept doing the scene from Revenge of the Sith after he like electrocutes electrocutes Mace
Do
Windu and
it.
fly him out the window.
Do it.
He was like, there was like Palpatine S, and he's like, that part right there.
Yo, they
Oh,
was dope for that, yo. But
yeah.
yeah, man.
But yeah, like I said, with
Omega.
Omega, I have always been hot and cold with Omega this entire like franchise. Like that first season, I was like, yo, throw this little kid away.
It
For
was
real. It was
rough.
rough. Second season, it still had some throwaway moments, but she kind of, she developed or whatever right here. And then so far this season, Omega is trying to do Omega things. What Omega reminds me of? For my fans that have seen The Walking Dead, Omega reminds me of Carl from The Walking Dead, early stages of Walking Dead, where you always is like, where Carl always wandered off doing something, doing stuff he ain't got no business doing. And you like, what you doing, Carl? And he getting everybody in trouble. And
Yeah.
that's what Omega's doing. She's plotting because we found out last season that of course all the out of the batch everybody had their own special skill, and we found out that Omega's skill was strategy and planning. I was getting a little irritated first. I was like, girl, you're supposed to be a strategist, a master strategist. Yo, get about this daggone thing. But it seemed like she was trying to do that the entire episode. She was just going about her business, going about her day. We see Lama Su in that first episode, and we see that Lama Su is like she sees Omega as her daughter.
Yeah.
And Lama Su is just like, hey, whenever they take blood from you and they bring it to me, throw that ish away. like and Omega, and of course he gonna make a question, are you throwing my blood away? And you throw it, and Lama Su's like, hey, I'm trying to keep you alive here, little girl. Stop playing in my face. I'm trying to keep you alive. If they ever take some blood from you, and they bring it and they tell you bring it to me, make sure you throw that ish away. And Omega's basically like her number one assistant, and Omega realizes that they brought her in. In her mind, she's thinking, oh, they brought me in here so Lama Su can do work, and saying they won't hurt me as long as Lama Su's doing work, doing work and everything like that. And she's doing like little tedious, I hate to say it, almost like slave work. Here, handle this right here. Here, go feed these space dogs and stuff like that. And of course, there's one space dog that she kind of bonds with a little bit, and then she goes by the prison hold of the other clones that have started to reject Order 66 and question the Empire. And we see good old Crosshairs, and she's like trying to Crosshairs does not want to be bothered. He's like,
No.
hey, what's going on, What's going on, Crosshair?
It's like,
What's this? He's
man,
like,
you don't
little
get your ass
girl,
out of here. Stop playing with me.
little girl, leave me the hell alone. Okay, leave me the hell alone, little girl. And then like, yeah, we're gonna break out of here, Cross it. He's like, don't you think I've already thought about this? Like, chill. Did you also notice this, Rashad? At one point, she noticed that his hands were kind of shaking or something
Yeah,
like
man.
that.
I was about to say that it looked like I don't know if he got some sort of like early onset, like I'm saying Parkinson's or something going
Yeah.
on, but like he definitely had the shaky hand going on, yo.
Do you also think that maybe it could be that his body is, I guess, whatever? Because remember, at the end of last season, he was helping the boys out and everything
True.
from inside, and they was like, "Oh, we need to, help. We need to get this dude back under control." And they tried to put some type of serum in him or whatever. Do you think it's just his body, like his reaction, his body rejecting because his mind, he's fighting it off with his mind, or like you said, it could be early on stages to like some type of space Parkinson's or something?
Yeah,
Because
it could be any one of those things
yeah,
because he definitely or it could just be Hemlock having a sort of weird way to kind of just his specialty just be kind of like nullify his specialty.
yeah,
Like, let me say this again. This could be a way that Hemlock is trying to nullify Crosshair's specialty because that's just the kind of dude Hemlock is.
mm-hmm.
Hemlock is that quiet, Silence of the Lamb type evil.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And The only time we ever seen him act like a little punk was when Palpatine came through. Other than that, like Hemlock has been like, "Hey, come here,
Yeah.
do what I say, or I will kill you." And
Yes.
then I'm gonna go eat my lunch, okay? But Palpatine came through. He was like, "Hey, hey, hey, Palpatine!
Hey, Papa Palpatine,
Like,
how
look,
you doing
look,
there, buddy?
we can do we can do replications of large creatures in here. You know what I'm saying?" And Palpatine was like, "Man, I don't care about that. Project
Yeah.
Necromancer."
Right.
Where did like yo? So okay, so the whole thing with the Project Necromancer, and like you were saying with the M count, is that they tried and they tried and tried. They even had one successful transfer, but however, there's always degradation with the M count when it transferred over. So they're trying to find one that is truly is going to work. And of course, the MacGuffin to that is Omega. You know what I'm saying? So Omega is that's really why she's special because she has a higher midichlorian count. And to be honest, kind of leads us to the whole theory that she may actually be a force sensitive clone.
Yeah.
You
And
know,
by the way, folks, what we're doing right now, we're basically putting two episodes together.
yeah, this is like episode one and
So
three
one and
because
episode three.
it's
Episode
like
one and three. Yeah.
yeah, it's basically one part, 2-part episode.
Yeah.
And then in smack dab in the middle of that, you have a very sad episode with Hunter and Wrecker.
Yeah. Like, yeah, dang, yo.
like them boys is sad, yo. Like it's crazy
Yeah.
because Hunter's so sad. He not even thinking rational, yo. Wrecker's like, hey, you let's not just storm the base. You know what I'm saying? Let's kind of okay, all right.
He's already a brooding character.
Yeah.
And he's brooding even more than what he's already like.
Yeah, he looking.
Jon Snow is jealous of his brooding. God dang.
Yeah, he looking even more like Rambo nowadays.
Yeah.
So and so episode 2, we see at beginning we see this the dude that got his thing cut off. I forgot what race those the Zabraks. I forgot like whatever race like the horn people are. We see that dude because like I think like he rescued him or something like that from the first season.
He did like the first season something he rescued and
because the Pikes had him and the Pikes cut his whole little thing off.
Yeah, they cut
and the crazy part was
off.
The Pikes like just had it as like a souvenir. You know what I'm saying? Like
right.
Because and his mom is like the empress of the little thing or whatever of like the syndicate. And other dude came in. The first dude came in was like, yo, like you ain't going hard enough. And she was like, oh, I ain't going hard enough.
College girl. Gave her that Jabba the Hutt treatment, except for no rancor. It was an empty floor.
Yeah, it was hell down there. You know what I'm saying? So then the two of the batch, I can't even call them the bad batch anymore. More like the bad pieces can't come in. And they, have the Pike that supposedly did the dirt to her son and gives us some information about where Omega could be. And they end up like going to the place, and unfortunately the base was basically bombarded. And
it got that Camino treatment. That's what it did.
Really did.
It got that Camino treatment, being bombarded from space.
Yeah, the orbital bombardment.
The orbital bombardment. Good God
that's
almighty.
Crazy, man. They did this so many times, yo. Shout out Mandalore. You know what I'm saying? So when they get to this planet, they end up finding like some random like kid clones. These kid clones was the same kid clones that was on Camino that escapes. So shout out to them. And also shout out.
They were cadet enlist or whatever.
Yeah. So shout out to the other clones that didn't want to save them. Good soldiers follow orders.
Good soldiers follow orders. They ain't saved them little kids, man. And them kids probably about 13, 14 or something like that.
Man, they was like FTK.
Left them little bastards to fend for themselves. And they was like in some type of like real hardcore planet where hey man, we just surviving. What I'm saying? We're soldiers. We we gotta survive out here, whatever.
Yeah, they're like Lord of the Flies, you know what I'm saying?
Right, it was. And them kids were like really leery of the Bad Batch duo.
It was like, look at you, man. Y'all some Yeah, yeah,
They said, what are you? They said clones. Y'all don't like no clones that we know of. And it's like, oh, they're defective. They're the 99. And he was like, yeah, we show our defective. Play with us if you want to,
yeah.
So
So meet the other one, you know what I'm saying? And he's like older, a little bit older than them.
yeah.
Definitely way more jaded with the world. Because
Mm-hmm.
he's like, help them go to the base to find what for who? Man,
Yeah.
y'all know what the oh yeah, so the vines, right? Like the
Yeah.
empire is crazy, yo. So the empire like the empire stay doing some dumb stuff in the name of science. So they
Yeah.
made these vines that are like Venus flytraps without the flytrap thing.
Mm-hmm.
And these vines are like a bio organic weapon.
Mm-hmm.
And they're just snatching them up. You know what I'm saying? They said, dude was like, look, yo, whatever y'all do, don't touch the vines.
Uh-huh.
And of course, the wrecker and his unelegant behind
Yeah.
steps on one and they got to shoot it off, cut it, bam, bam, bam,
It's like
But
you shooting them is irritating them. So,
yeah,
you
don't
already, yeah.
just
So,
making them mad. So
yeah.
they end up saying, hey, we got to go back to the base to see if we can get some information about where the last place that it was going. And they was like, no,
Yeah.
it's even more of them at the base. Like, why
Right.
are we doing that? That is
And it was like, have y'all, and then she was like, by the way, have y'all ever seen this little girl clone? And they like, girl clone? Like, the hell y'all crazy asses talking about, man? Like, they were really like playing, in their faces, like, what the hell y'all crazy asses talking? Girl
Oh, no
clone? Look,
girl
man.
clone over here,
No
man. Ain't
girl
no girl
clone,
clones,
right?
just a bunch of dudes.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying?
So they got to go back to the ship to get that little
They got
charger
they got the
droid.
gunk droid.
Get a gonk droid, a little charger droid, because they got to charge up this, what I'm saying, this little space, this little station or whatever to get the information they need. They get to the daggone base. It is covered in these vines, and like the other. So only one of the little cadets went. The other two were like, "Yeah, have at it, boss. We let y'all go." So they went, and they, what I'm saying, they what happened? A bunch of misadventures. They end up stepping on the vine. They get into. Then you see these vines like actually popping off.
Like face huggers, yo.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
face
saying?
huggers, right? Yeah, and
But
running
it
around. I was like, yo, what the world is going on here, bro? And they started getting, they was getting information they needed, but they started getting overrun. And in the meantime, the other two cadets are back at their little home base. They're like, the one dude, the oldest one, started feeling bad, like, hey man, we gotta help. And the other one was like, hey man, did they say they got a ship? You can fly, right? Like, you can fly, right? Man, let's take that ship, get off this planet, and we can disappear. Nobody's gonna mess with. We can find a spot and get
Oh
out of here.
god.
And they were like, and the older dude was like, man, I don't know, man. He says, those the 99 crew, they not like the other CT clones that left us, they they must really want a reason to go help and get their home girl. Dude was like, hey man, let's go get this ship and get their ship and get out of here.
Fam was
And
like,
then the fun,
he's like, man, well,
he's like,
let me see the ship.
he's like, all right, let's go see the ship. Then you see, I think the first time we may have seen this done to a ship on Star Wars. We saw that ship get hot wired.
Definitely hot wired the
They
door.
hot wired it. So hold on real quick. Up there we go. And they got inside and was like, wow, it's a lot of nice stuff in here. But then the older dude, once again, he looked and saw Omega's quarter, and he see the little stuffed little animal, little toy they had for Omega, which she also recreated with some hay and straw
Yeah, which was
back
so
on.
depressing when Emery snatched that hoe from him. It was like,
Yeah.
stupid toy, you stupid girl.
She says, I'm doing you a favor. And so in the meantime, the other cadet who's with the batch is like, yo, help, we need help, yo, please, Jesus, help us, we get overrun. And then they was just like, and so they kind of had a change of heart, and they flew recklessly flying the ship to get the guys out. The guys got the information they needed, but the vines started snatching on the ship and pulling down. And then next thing you know, it pops. Like, I said, yo, did they make a Scarlac vine or something? This thing looked just like how the Scarlac is in the desert. I said, yo, the
You
Empire is
right.
wild as hell, yo.
You right.
The Empire wild as hell. And so there was like, hey man, we gotta get this thing off. There was like, hey, throw a grenade down there. Threw a grenade down there. Ain't do nothing to this thing. It was like, hey, yo, help. There's a whole chest full of bombs. Throw that Jake down there. And they threw it down there, then boom, blew it up, and they took the guys with them. And you see Wreckers having a moment with the kids and, kind of like bonding with them. And Hunter, you see him just off in the distance, brooding, looking. And I think he was feeling like guilty about the whole, dealing with Omega, because that was the relationship that he had, what I'm saying, with
Yeah.
Omega. And they looked in the little information they had, and it was like, hey, so yeah, they transferred her off this little thing, and they sent her somewhere else. And it was like, well, do you know where? Well, we know the sector, but that's about it, bro. It was like, that's about it. So we're gonna go search the sector. In the meantime, also too, people may be asking, of course, if you remember last season, Tech died, sacrificing himself to save his brothers, and then the other batch member, who wasn't really a 99, but he was one of the ones that got lost during the Clone Wars. He left to go with Rex to liberate other clones or whatever. So they was like, yeah, man. So it's a lot of planets out here. We're just gonna go search. By the way, we're gonna drop y'all off at a spot that y'all gonna be safe. It's an island, and we all know that is the island of Pabu that we saw last season. That was gonna be the safe haven and new home of the batch. So that basically was the second episode. But like I said, episode 1 and 3 was just completely
two-part. And
two-parter.
like and the cool, I like how they so when the Emperor comes through and they have like this like quick secret room search, everything, all stuff gets snatched, and they end up putting her back on Omega back on lockdown, basically. But when excuse me, but when Palpatine came, people were so focused on the Emperor that they kind of forgot about Omega. So Nala was like, look. Yeah, they're gonna take your blood, and I need you to get on this planet today.
Okay, right.
Ain't no playing no games. I need you to find the ship.
Yeah.
Get out of here. If you don't, it's gonna be bad for you. So that's what she essentially does. She grabs her little iPad and goes throughout the building. Said, Crosshair, get your depressed behind out of bed. We out. And he's like, you don't have a plan. She was like, I don't care.
Right.
Get out.
We make it up as it go.
I told you I was gonna leave you. This is my promise. And that's what I'm doing. And that's the kind of thing I did like about like the small little lessons that they were trying to say. Like, look out, make sure you look out for your people and don't leave nobody behind.
And
which is like one of the behind, which was the clone 99 thing, you know what I'm saying? Until Tech sacrificed himself. RP Tech. But yeah, like that whole episode was them just trying to maneuver through the base, and a couple of decent callbacks with the liqueur, I think is the name of the like the space hounds.
Yes. Yeah.
So they was basically gonna send the other episode, they was gonna send the dog out to die. And they was gonna, because she basically domesticated the dog, and it was like, yo, dog soft as hell now, yo. We're not about to sit here and keep this little soft dog. So it was gonna terminate the dog, and that's why they had to lock her back down. So the cage that the dog used to be in, that's how they got out the building. Of course, the Empire eventually finds out, and they see all that good stuff, yada yada, and they try to go back to the old ship that got crashed in the first episode. Comms don't work. And then we got a whole new plan, you know what I'm saying, 72. and yo, I'm glad that Omega was there, because if it was just Crosshairs, he would have died, because he missed so many shots.
He was like, I think somehow they're kind of repressing his special powers or something like that. Like, I think we said, man, because we saw how lethal that dude was last season. Remember the mirrors? He would throw on the walls, and he was just like shooting off the mirrors and stuff, man. So,
moving target. So
Yeah.
yeah. So they're definitely trying to just for his character arc. I think this is probably good for him anyway to have some, some controversy. Not some controversy, some what's what I'm looking for here? Just some
So
trouble.
tribulations, man.
There we go.
There you
Yeah,
go.
yeah.
Some tribulations.
That'll work.
Yeah, and like I said, if you didn't catch it and you don't understand, the whole thing is they're trying to pass midichlorians into a clone, and come to find out at the end of the third episode that Omega has those midichlorian counts in
With
her,
shining colors.
right? Which also kind of explains where some people were saying that maybe Omega's a Jedi and stuff like that. And well, not a Jedi, but is
He's
force
force
sensitive.
sensitive. Yeah.
And I know there was a lot of people that were like praying to God that this wasn't the case. It was like, God, I hope she isn't, and this and that. I'm like, hey man, you pretty much knew this is going to happen, because this right here is basically tying everything together from Bad Batch, Bad Batch, Prime Mandalorian, and then even as far as Ahsoka, because this is basically Star Wars in between Return of the Jedi and Force Awakens right there.
Yeah, and Rise of Skywalker.
Oh yeah, Rise of Skywalker, all that stuff.
All that stuff makes it number one. But yeah.
Yeah.
I can I kind of like how they trying to make some sense of the tangled web that they wove with especially the Rise of Skywalker. But I mean it's all good. But I just as 3 standalone episodes, man, like this was a good entry into a season. Like the first episode was sad too. I was like, yo, like I really feel sad for Omega. You know what I'm saying? I never thought I would feel sad for Omega, but like I felt a decent amount of compassion. You know
what she said? What's the first line she said? They're like, "Hello, Omega, how are you doing?" She was like, "Feels like I'm a prisoner." That's what she said.
Because I mean, for all intents and purposes, she was. She said, "Look, Emery, I was on Camino my entire life. I ain't about to be here. I'm out." So I can respect. I mean, first season of this show was rough with her being just being the ignorant child.
Yeah, precocious little ignorant child.
Yeah, but like now it seems like she done had some loss. And she's starting to actually grow up. And I never like hated the character, but it just was, we're not the target. We're not the target audience for this.
Yeah. So before we get out of here, what are some things you are hoping to see in this final season of the Bad Batch?
Good question. I hope we get to see
well, it's like one person I want to see.
Who's that?
We have to see Boba Fett at some point. Yeah,
definitely see Boba. Like I was gonna say like a clone reckoning. That's what I like. I would love to see like some sort of clone uprising, or at the least just how the clones transition and the Empire don't even want to even mess with them no more. Because this Project Necromancer is gonna live on, but it's gonna take a new form. And you already know what that new form is gonna be. That new form is gonna be Snoke, because they're not gonna be successful in this. So I want to see like the traces of how this gets transitioned into something else.
Also, too, I'm saying this early, and I'll say it again when we get to the front. I don't want to see a happy ending on this.
It's somebody else. Like it's not gonna be. It's gonna be bittersweet. Like it has to, because it's starting off bittersweet.
It has to be. This is so far starting off very dark. It's very, very dark and darker than what the Bad Batch has been. I hope this is kind of like a dark final season, kind of like the final season we got for Clone Wars.
It looks like it's gonna be like a precursor of things to come. But I really enjoy these 3 episodes. Again, like I said before, I'm not sure how we're gonna do this. If next episode is just a complete banger of an episode, then we will definitely be back. If it ain't, You know what I'm saying?
You'll see us in about a week or two.
Yeah, the next time you see us is gonna next time you see us is gonna be when we review Dune. Or something
Right.
or something else pop up that we just
Yeah.
want to talk about. But yeah, man, that's really it for this one. If you saw something in this episode that you like or didn't like, comment below. Like I said before, subscribe to the stuff. And that is it for now. We see you guys next time.